What's up, everyone? Today we got to work on this guy. My 2023 Yamaha MT-10 is due for some spark plugs, so come with me while I try and figure out how to do this for the first time with very little knowledge of how to take this bike apart. But I've watched a YouTube video, so let's figure it out together. I think step number one is to get these intake covers off. So I'm gonna go ahead and start that. It looks like there's a bolt here, and down here. And I've taken these off before. I forget why, but definitely haven't taken the tank off before. So this is gonna be a new experience. Luckily, I've done this type of work on my ZX6 quite a bit. So I knew preemptively that you should run the tank almost empty. So I tried to roll around town until the tank was pretty low. So it should be a little lighter and easier to work with. All right, so let's see. I think you pull forward, yeah. So you pull forward towards the front of the bike and kind of out at the same time. The back end wants to pop out, but not this side yet. Hopefully, oh, just a bug. This whole front feels loose. It's nerve-wracking. I don't like taking plastics off of bikes. Bought a naked bike because I thought I'd have less plastic, but this bike has a ton of it. Alright, boys, what do I gotta do? Let's figure this out without breaking my poor bike. Oh, okay. Well, stuff fell out, but it was bugs. So, okay, there's number one. Little sigh of relief. Let's put that somewhere safe. Down here by my muffler, which is off because of reasons, so we'll talk about later. So there's the, this actually does have an intake on both sides. The old one, I think this was just for looks, but it's okay. So let's move on to the other side and see if we can get that off. Okay, nerve-wracking part number two, done, and the only thing that broke off was this rock that was in there, so we won't be missing that. Chuck that over there. Okay. I think everything else is just bolts. Look at this bug flying around. Are you crazy? And this piece is just in there by friction, so we'll lift that out. Oh, I just realized. There are two clips in there holding that in, so I almost pulled too hard. See, I'm learning the hard way while you guys can learn from my mistakes. Black bike, black clips, hard to see stuff in there, but if you look closely, there's two push-pop pins. Push pins, pop pins. I'll show them when I get them out, but they're all the way up front by the handlebar. There we go. See? We'll set that aside. I think that gives you access to the bolts that hold the top side panels on. Should probably get this poor thing a wash, huh, guys? All right, so we got a bolt here, here. And we'll see if there's any other ones that are hidden, but there's definitely two up top. I'm gonna go ahead and take the seat off now while I'm thinking about it. Okay, found another bolt. Let's see, so we got a Phillips head. Ooh, a steel Phillips head. I'm not a fan of those. They strip too easy. Cool, got the same. My quad lock's getting in the way a little bit. I'm too lazy to, all right, I won't be lazy. We'll just, easy peasy. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take both of these front bolts off. So let's check for looseness. So that's it's still on there quite a bit. There's definitely a hidden screw up here somewhere. Yeah. Let's go ahead and grab a Phillips head. I use these JIS, Japanese Industrial Standard Phillips heads when I can, depending on the size of the screw I'm trying to take off. Because I've never stripped a screw with these. They're very good about not stripping. Wow, look at that. It's a tiny little screw. Itty bitty. Get you. Oh. Tiny little guy. So now, everything just got loose. I bet you the last screw is that one right there. Right there. It seems to be the one I'm going to have to take off. It's somewhere in that middle section because there's still lots of tension. But after that lower screw, this whole thing got a lot looser. I'm pretty sure there's a push, something held on in there with push pin. This is the YouTube section, so it looks like that's moving. That's moving. It's probably this big guy right here, huh? Let's take him off and see what happens. Let's just scream and take me off because it's such a big screw. Let's see if we're any looser. Anything? Oh, a little bit looser. I'm afraid to just yank, so. Just gonna start taking random screws out until something speaks to me. I'll fast forward through this because once I figure it out, I'll be able to save you guys some time. But as things loosen, oh, yeah, it's much looser now. That might have been the last thing, unless there's a push pin somewhere I'm not seeing, but it seems very loose. I'm gonna take this last screw just because I'm gonna be extra careful. If it doesn't need to come out, it doesn't need to come out, but whatever. Oh, it did need to come out because that is way looser now. Now it feels like it would just be something like friction locked in there. All right, we're back. I checked out, his name is Sergeant Sodom on YouTube. He's got an MT-10 that looks just like mine. I think he's in the UK, but he just pulled. Yeah, there it goes. Oh, relief. I think it was right here. It's this plastic thing going into the rubber grommet. So that's what it looks like in there, guys. I'll do this terrifying situation so you don't have to, because it's so freaky pulling plastics off of sport bikes, because they are notorious for breaking when you try to remove them. And this one comes straight out. Come on, you bitch. Aha. That one wasn't so bad. Not so bad, not so bad. Once you know which direction that you're allowed to pull, it's a lot less terrifying. It's that fear that you're gonna pull in the wrong way and snap something. So yeah, it's these two. Wow, this tank is tiny once you get all that crap off of it. Can I lift it yet? No. I know I need to loosen that bolt there, so. I think this is actually still attached somewhere, probably there. It doesn't feel too willing to budge quite yet, so I'm imagining it's bolted there and then it's a rotating pin on that one. These ratcheting wrenches are worth every penny. If this isn't holding the tank on, I will be thoroughly impressed at my lack of knowledge of this bike. Let's go ahead and set that aside. I won't misremember where that goes. It's a very unique sized bolt so far. Ooh, these are on there. We'll rotate you guys down so you can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna hold off on taking that all the way out and see if I can make this work by just propping up the tank. I'd much prefer to have a way of doing that. Let's see how much I can rotate this before something happens. What do you guys see in there? Got some drain lines. This will absolutely be doable with just propping the tank up. All right, guys, skipping ahead, what I ended up doing is I attached my tank to some shelves I had up there and ratcheted the tank upwards just to keep it out of the way. I think it's out of the way enough that I will be able to work on this intake filter area. I was going to show you guys this. I just went ahead and did this off camera, but these just have one bolt holding them on right here. So I think it's a screw, but this guy right here is holding this on through here, and then it's just friction fit. It goes right into the air box, and there's a little push rivet right in there. So you just pop this out, wiggle it a little bit, put the screw back in there just so I don't lose it. I did the same on the other side. So these just have one little nub holding them into a rubber grommet, and then that one bolt. Yamaha, in their infinite wisdom, decided to use Phillips head screws that are easily strippable to hold on the top of the airbox. So I stripped 2 of them and broke one off. So luckily I was able to drill this one out. So that one, I'm going to just use some pliers, get that piece of crap out of there. They are M5 bolts, and I happen to have a whole bunch of these M5 Allen style bolts. I think they're M5 by 10 or M5 by 12. I think this is a 10, and I'm going to use this. I am not a fan of these types of screw heads. They strip every single time, and for some reason they were on there like the Hulk put them on, so I don't know if I did that, but I really doubt it. But anyway, lesson learned. I think the next step is, this is different than my ZX, I think I have to get in there and get these Allen bolts out, I guess, and I believe that the airbox will just lift right out, and I'm really hopeful that's the case, because I don't see any way on the side of the frame to get to the clamps that would hold it on my bike, my other bike. So I'm just going to guess that that's what it takes. It's going to be this bolt up here, and then it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, so maybe 3 on each of the 2 cylinders here, and then 3 on this cluster of cylinders, and I'm hoping it just lifts straight out. If that's the case, I will be right back. If not, I'll be probably more angry, but this has already been kind of a pain in the butt. All right, the situation got a little out of hand, so this was way harder than I thought it was going to be. I said screw it, I took the tank off, I took the airbox completely out, got underneath and found a horrifying sight. But what it had, so basically, there's this tray in there that has a shitload of wires attached to it, all these different attachment points, very little explanation of how to get them off. So I just started unplugging stuff, and yeah, I went to town a little bit. I pulled that tray out. I don't think I'm going to put that tray back in because it's really freaking annoying. But here's the situation. All of these wires had to be unplugged, this giant cluster of wires. So I'm stuffing them into the air hole right now, get them out of the way. This goes to the airbox. These are actually the plugs. This is actually part of something I unplugged. I'm going to have to try really hard to plug all this stuff up, back in without missing something. So that's a little nerve-wracking, but yeah, this whole wiring loom is going to need to be plugged back into all the wires that are up there. Okay, moving on. I still have my AIS system, which is annoying because I didn't do block-off plates, so I'm going to eventually have to work around those, and it's already pretty tight in here, so that'll be fun. Good thing is that I already got all of the spark plug, or the caps unplugged. So now it's on to the apparently horrific experience of getting these out in this super confined space. So I'm going to try the old paracord around the what is it, the plug? I don't know what they're called. Forgive me, I'm a little flustered. I went borderline on the crazy side over this bike. Got a little frustrated, but we're making progress. So I'm going to try and get these things out, and we'll see how it goes. If this trick works, essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a way to loop this string around the plugs and find some way to yank them upward without cracking them. So far this job sucks, but I think it's like $1,000 job if you take it to the dealer, so we're going to try really hard not to break anything. Wish me luck. Thanks. All right. Not gonna lie, this is actually a day or two later. So I ended up having to order a 14mm socket that was thin-walled. I didn't have a 14 that was thin enough to fit inside these little tiny holes in there. And it's also in such an orientation that you very much need to get these little elbows that help you kind of get into those tight angles. It's nice to have this where it can rotate on its little ball joint, because this is very, very tight in there. So basically, you drop it in, get onto the spark plug itself, and then start attaching your extension so that you can reach it in there. Luckily they're not in there all that tight, and all 4 of them came out pretty clean. This is after 11,000 miles. I mean, they needed to be replaced, but I don't see anything that screams, super bad. They're not black or white, they're kind of right in the middle. But yeah, so the next thing, I'm going to drop in the new ones, and I'm still waiting for the postman to show up. I've ordered a aftermarket air filter because I decided that the filter on there was pretty dirty and beat up. So I'm gonna put the new spark plugs in and then start to button up everything. Don't mind the mess, I got stuff everywhere. So what I ended up doing was I took some paracord, not a longer piece than this. I took some paracord and I wrapped it around the coil like this, and I kind of did upward pressure, and then at the same time I took a pry bar and I stuck the pry bar like under this lip and just super gently pushed up with the pry bar while pulling on this to try not to snap this plastic. and I got lucky. Kind of did a little rotation before I did that to kind of break it loose, and I got really lucky that they all came out without any major issue. You want to try and get the pry bar under that thick piece of plastic there, not on this connection point, because that thick piece of plastic's a little stronger. You could also try to get it underneath this lip, but this lip doesn't really do a whole lot for resistance. So yeah, just try to get the pry bar, whatever maybe it's a flathead. I went with a really long pry bar. Let me find it. Don't mind me. So I've just got this pry bar here. Just kind of stuffed it under where I showed you on the coil, and then found a place to leverage off the inside of the engine bay. Scary stuff. Definitely don't want to snap those coils, or you're gonna be buying new ones, and you might not be able to get the old ones out if you break them. But yeah, so kind of a nightmare of a job. My ZX6 is significantly easier to work on than this, so we'll see how it goes. The spark plugs going back in should be easy. I've got the torque specs. I'll put them on the screen. Look how much more intake area is on this filter compared to the stock one. It's like significantly wider. That's exciting. So I imagine this will let it breathe better. And I doubt it'll make a significant power increase, but dunk into the trash. Basically all I'm gonna do now is line up the knobs. Get this on that bad boy. And it should just slide down into place, hopefully. Alright, so if you guys want to do this modification to yours, if you're taking your airbox off and you don't want to deal with Phillips heads stripping out, these are M5 by 20 Allen head bolts, or hex head bolts, whatever they're called. Got them off eBay in a pack of like 100 different lengths. These are the 20 length ones. I actually ran out of the 20s and used some 15s, and they worked also, but it's a little bit, I'm more comfortable using the 20s because you have a little more to work with. But these bottom ones down here are the 15s, and they're working fine. So if you don't have 20 length, 20 mil, I guess, 15s will work. So you just slip that bad boy in, and then you line it up with this grommet up here. Press that in, press it in up here on this grommet. Get that nicely seated. There we go. And now you can screw this bad boy back on. So last steps are get the tank back on. The tank has one electrical plug and the fuel line, and then there's a bolt that connects there, and then there's two on the side that bolt it to the frame. I'm gonna put all these tools somewhere else, get the seat out of the way, and then I'll get working on this gas tank. Be right back. Sounds good. It's out of gas because I did run it low, so this tank was lighter. All right, boys, moment of truth. She sounds nice. Cool. All right, I guess I'm gonna throw some gear on and go for a ride. Let's see how this thing feels now with the new filter and new plugs. Hopefully that's all she wrote for this job, because I'm ready to be back on the road. It's been days.